You call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello you degenerate fucks, and welcome to The Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday, 7th of March. Just back with another episode. So February finished. A poor month for me. I only had one bet up, and I think in total I lost just under 200 quid. So it's my worst month of the season. You know, after winning over 200 last month, I then lose basically 200 this month. So yeah, it took away half of my season profit. But look, what do we do? We'll just keep plugging on. So anyway, look, I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet today because there's not a lot of, to talk about that's good. So I'll just want to run through the bets quickly, the stats, and then give you what my bets are this week. So last week's main bet, Ipswich won, Bolton won, Wrexham won, Leighton Orient didn't, and Dundee didn't. In the goals bet, Walsall, both the score was up, Portsmouth over 2.5 was up, and Chorley over 2.5 was up. The two that beat it were two over 1.5 team goals. Northampton only scored one, and so did Norwich. So I had about a 10-minute sweat in that bet, but that was it. Evening bet, Villa won, Stuttgart won, Ghent, both the score was up. Firth, both the score was beat, and Real Madrid was a draw, whatever it was too, so that was beat. On Sunday, first bet, Nice won. I think it was Nice over 1.5, wasn't it? Brest, Burnley, both the score was beat. Genk, both the score was up. PSV, both the score beat, and Celtic as well. Jesus Christ, 2-5 they were. The other bet wasn't much better. Atalanta over 2.5 was up. Atletico Madrid, both the score was up. The other three were beat. So, pretty bad week, and I'm a bit disappointed because the numbers were there. Looking at the stats, so I'll run you through these. So Premier League, it was 10 games. Championship 12, League 1 12, League 2 9, National League and National League North 11, only 8 games in the National League South. So in total 73 games. So let's run through. So Premier League, 8 favourites, 1 draw, 1 outsider. Championship, 8 favourites, 2 draws, 2 outsiders. League 1, 7 favourites, 3 draws, 2 outsiders. League 2, 7 favourites, 1 draw, 1 outsider. National League, 6 favourites, 3 draws, 2 outsiders. National League North, 5 favourites, 4 draws, 2 outsiders. National League South, 5 favourites, 2 draws, 1 outsider. So in total, that was 46 favourites, 16 draws, and 11 outsiders. So 46 is actually 63% of the games. And just looking out there, 8 in the Premier League, 8 in the Championship, which is massive, as we know. 7 League 1, 7 League 2, 6 in the National League, 5 in the National League North, and 5 in the National League South. I mean, the only league there that's not sort of 50% is, or more, is National League North, which is 5 from 11. It's only half a game. So that's 50%. Every other league was over 50%. So, yeah, there was a bet out there. It just didn't fall to me. On the overs and both the score, so Premier League 8 over 2 nat, 5 both the score 5 nat. Championship 4 over 8 nat, 5 both the score 7 nat. League 1 6 and 6, so 6 over 6 nat, and 6 both the score 6 nat. League 2 3 over 6 nat, and 3 both to score 6 nat. National League 8 over 2s and 3 nat, 10 both to score, and only 1 game wasn't. National League North 7 over 2 and 4 nat, and the same again for the both to score, 7 both to score and 4 nat. National League South only 3 over 5 nat, and 4 both to score 4 nat. So in total there, that was 39 over, 34 nat, and 40 both to score and 33 net. So they were, for the overs, 53% of the games were over 2.5 and 54% of the games were both to score. But looking through those, it's a bit sporadic. 8 in the Premier League, good. 6, 50% basically in League One. National League, obviously 8 being over is good, and 7 in the National League North. The rest was sort of not great. And with the both to score, really, there's only National League North there has 7. Obviously National League 10, that's massive. It's 10 out of 11 games. And then League One had 6. The rest are all below 50%. So 2 or 3 leagues are just really, bumped up the numbers. So look, that was last week. Going on to this week, and so this week's main bet is the goals bet, and not because I've been doing any better with those or anything like that. It was just I was looking at teams to pick to win, and there was nothing that it was jumping out at me, and I went through a lot of games, and either the price was terrible, or the ones that were decent prices, it was kind of to me it was like risky. It was like, this is a tough game, or etc. And a lot of teams I was looking at, I ended up being away teams because the home teams just weren't priced up well enough. So what I've done is I've picked a 2-point, which is £10 to me, goals bet, mostly both to score, and I have picked a £5 1-point ACCA, 5 teams to win. But I've went with some of those risky prices, so I didn't feel like risking 2 units on some of these was worthwhile. I just switched the stakes for him basically. Also, just before I get on to the bets, obviously Cheltenham's next week. And it might have been last year where I was on a bit of a bad run, and Cheltenham came and pulled me out of a hole. So, excuse me, I'm yawning. So hopefully that can be the same again this year. And anybody who knows with Cheltenham, I usually do a lucky 15 every day. So I'll spend like £15 on that. A lot of times I do it in the bookmakers because you get treble the odds if you get one winner. I think some of the bookies do that as well. Boyles, can't remember. There's a few of the bookies. I'll post more about it on Monday, about what I'm doing and what bets I'm doing and who I'm doing them with. But I'll also do, like, William Hill's offering a free bet every day. Betfair's offering a free bet every day. And I'm sure some other bookies. So, keep up to date with those. Any accounts you have, check. Because, you don't want to spend too much, and you can almost obviously bet in every race. The reason I like the lucky 15 is even if, the first 3 horses are bait, you get the 4th winner, you can get your money back, at least your money back. So, depends what horses I'm looking at, whether I go with straight wins or whether I go with, a $7.50 each way, lucky 15. This depends on prices. I do always follow a few different people. I'll have a look at the Winners Enclosure on Twitter. I like his stuff. He's very good. And also Matt Brocklebank from Sporting Life. He gives value bets, which anybody who doesn't know value bet, it's basically, not favourites, outsiders with, good each way chance. And he's picked a lot of winners. He picked the national winner when it was Noble Yeats at 44 to 1. And he's picked me, he's picked loads of winners that I've had at Cheltenham in the past. So as I say, look, I'll be doing a variety of bets, lucky 15, some singles, maybe some small doubles, big price doubles, stuff like that, just as to keep me interested. So hopefully, my good form at Cheltenham, continues. But anyway, so let's get on the bet. Look, so the main bet is obviously the goals bet. So it's 3 both to score and then an over 2. You could do that 4th game, both to score as well, but slightly better price for overs, and I do think it'll be 2-1, 3-1 maybe. But anyway, so first game, Palace Luton, both to score 4 to 5. Wolves Fulham, both to score 7 to 10. Blackpool Portsmouth, both to score 3 to 4. And Barnsley Lincoln, over 2.5, 11 to 10. So it comes to 10-1. Pays about 120 something, with including the bonus or whatever it is. So decent bet. Look, there's no point in me going into the sort of form of this, but these are teams where, been scoring recently, scoring both to score over twos, goals in the games. The Blackpool Portsmouth game is two teams that are up the top. The Barnsley Lincoln, I think that's two teams in form. Palace Luton, just two teams that aren't great but should score goals, and the same with Wolves and Fulham, both scoring goals recently. That's the only sort of form I can give you, But anyway, going into then what would be the straight win ACCA. I'll give you some thing with these. And again, some of these are risky selections. They're tough games, hence the prices. So the first one is Barrow at home to Colchester, 4-5. Peterborough away to Burton, 8-11. Inter Milan away to Bologna, 23-20. Leicester away to Hull, 23-20. And Salzburg away to Lask, 5-6, which is 25-1. And like I said, you can see there I'm all over the place. Of a game in Italy, of a game in Austria. So, this is how hard I was looking to try to find something to pick. So look, I'll start at the bottom there with Salzburg because it's obviously coming up first. So Salzburg are top, Lask are third, but they are 12 points behind them. Recent form, Lask aren't in great form. They've only got 6 points. Salzburg have 11. Salzburg also have second best away record and last home record. 3 wins, a draw and a defeat in the last 5. In the last 5 altogether at home, there's some cup games and Champions League games in there. The 3 defeats, a draw and a win. So they've only got 1 win in 5 in their last 5 games. Salzburg away from home, not amazing. Only 2 wins and 3 draws, but undefeated in their last 5 away. Next, I'll just go up again. So I'll go Championship. Leicester away to Hull. So Leicester, we know they're in poor form. They got a good win there midweek, but they're still top of the league by 3 points. Hull in 6th on 57, so they're a fair bit back. Recent form, Hull's in decent form, 2 wins and 3 draws, undefeated in 5. Leicester only 2 wins and 3 defeats. But at home, Hull have drew their last 2. They lost the game before that, then they had a win against Millwall and lost the game before that against Norwich, so patchy at best. Whereas Leicester, even though they're not in great form, so they've had 3 wins, 2 draw, or a draw and a defeat in the last 5. The draw was actually against Bournemouth in the FA Cup, where they ended up going through. Not sure, was that penalties or it was a replay after extra time? So it would have been a replay, yeah. So they won the game in extra time, but they beat Sunderland. They lost to Leeds, which is a tough game. They beat Watford and they beat Stoke. So decent form. Next, and then on to Inter Milan playing Bologna, who away to Bologna. So Inter are top, Bologna are 4th. They're 19 points behind them, but both won their last 5. And Bologna 4 wins and a draw at home. Inter 4 draws and a win, or 4 wins and a draw away from home. So they're both in amazing form. Both won their last 5 games. I'm just basically looking at this going, Inter are top of the league. They should win that game. Yes, Bologna's in good form, but that's good form. They're not one of the big sort of 5 or 6 teams in Italy. So then we move on to Peterborough in League One. So I really looked at this one a lot because Peterborough's away form isn't great. They're sitting 5th in the league. Burton are way down in 18th, but only 2 points of difference in form. So Peterborough 9 points, Burton 7. In recent home form, Burton have lost their last 3 at home. So they won the game before that and drew before that. But Peterborough again, they've only won their last 2 away from home, and they had 2 defeats before that and a draw. So overall form, Peterborough have won 4 in a row. So I'm just hoping that Peterborough's recent form home and away continues. And then lastly in League 2, which is Barrow, it's the only home team on this list. Everybody else is away from home. So Barrow currently 6th, Colchester 22nd. Look, both not in great form. 6 points for Barrow, only 4 for Colchester. But Barrow have won 3 out of 5 at home, including their last game against Gillingham. Colchester only 1 win in 5 away from home, 3 draws in there and a defeat. So look, as you can see there, that's why I went with the smaller stake on that one and put the bigger stake on the goals bet, because there's a lot of risky games in there, a lot. But look, it is what it is. That's my selections. Right, so moving on to next midweek, and as I say, Cheltenham starts Tuesday, so there'll be bets on that, so keep an eye. But there's a full fixture list on Tuesday night, so, well, Championship there's 1 game. In League 1 there is 10, League 2 there is 11, National League 12, National League North 12, National League South 10. There's also 2 Champions League games, which is Arsenal Porto and Barca Napoli. So let's have a quick look at the early prices for those. So Arsenal are 1 to 5. You know, what's the point in betting? Barca are 4 to 5. And Arsenal are already getting beat 1-0. I mean, Porto at 14 to 1. I'm sure there's a decent price for a draw, but I would expect Arsenal to win that game. The Barca game is 1 each, and they're 4 to 5. But to me, Barca recently are a bookies team. Beat me a load of times recently, so I probably wouldn't be getting involved in that. Wednesday, there's 1 Premier League game, which is Bournemouth Luton. There's a League 1 game. There's 1 National League South game. There's 2 SPL games. There's a game in La Liga. And there's 2 Champions League games, which is Atletico Madrid versus Inter and Dortmund versus PSV. So Inter are slight favourites at 11 to 8, and they're already winning 1-0. But Atletico Madrid at home, tough game. Dortmund are slight favourites against PSV, and that game is 1 each as well. I would maybe fancy Dortmund there at 11 to 10. Yeah. So that's Wednesday. Then Thursday, just Europa. But at least now we're in the Europa, we've got some of the big teams. You know, there's games tonight. Liverpool play Sparta Prague. West Ham play Freiburg. Rangers play Benfica. They're all tonight, and then it's the reverse legs next week. What other games? Aston Villa Ajax, decent game. So even tonight and even next week, I may have a bit of a rattle on this, because we're at the point where we've got some good, some decent games to bet in. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the bets. That's next week. That's last week, and Cheltenham coming up. So, let's hope it get a good month in March. And yeah, that's basically it. Just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.